Hello patron and welcome back to my life. It's Writer Wednesday where I give you my tips and advice about the art and the business of writing and tell you how I do what I do as an indie author. Today we're continuing our answer to Luke Condor's question about advice and best practices when launching a brand new book series. In last week's video I told you about all the stuff you need to do to prepare for your release, including finishing ideally 3 books and selecting the time of year, the date, and the day of the week of your release. Now we'll talk about setting up and scheduling the early elements of the release, including pre-orders and early reviews. First, let's talk pre-orders. Pre-orders are just a flat-out good idea for book launches. They allow you to generate pre-buzz and excitement in advance, as well as being a place that you can funnel hungry readers who have just finished any other books you may have published. However, all pre-orders are not the same. The different ebook stores all treat pre-orders differently, or at least they do as of the release of this video. And by the way, that's advice for this whole video. None of this necessarily will apply a year or 2 years from now, but this is what works now. You should put pre-orders up on all other sites except Amazon as far in advance as possible, i.e. when your first book is done. I don't recommend putting up pre-orders before you have finished the book. I have done it. It was not good. All of the book sites except Amazon count all of your pre-order sales on the day of release. So if you've got a pre-order up for 6 months and you get 5,000 sales on iBooks, for example, during those 6 months, then on day 1 of release, that counts as 5,000 sales in the iBook store's algorithm. However, Amazon only counts your sales for the last 2 weeks or so of the pre-order, so it matters less if you have had your book on sale for 6 months. You have to make a personal decision about this. If you really care about your Amazon ranking on day 1, you should only put your pre-order up a couple of weeks before release. Personally, I don't care about this so much. The algorithm matters, but it's not my be-all, end-all of my strategy. I would rather still put my pre-order up as far in advance as possible. My autoresponder sequence to my email list walks them through the sequence of my books in the order they should read them, and my last email sends them to pre-order the next book that's going to release. I've generated tons of pre-orders this way, and the fact that they don't all count on the days that those books have released matters less to me than just getting the sale in the first place. And as a side note, you should make your book available in print as soon as you possibly can. Publish it through Amazon Advantage with a pre-order if you can, otherwise just publish it straight through CreateSpace. The reason for this is that as soon as a print book is on sale, people can start leaving reviews for it. So when you send out your advance copies to your street team, you can include a link to review the book in the same email. Like I said, if you publish with Amazon Advantage, you can actually set up pre-orders for print books, which is pretty cool, but this is honestly not going to be, most likely not going to be, a large part of your launch strategy. So if you can't get into Amazon Advantage, just publish through CreateSpace instead. Now, when you are actually compiling and formatting your first book in the series for publication, you should absolutely make the first part of your back matter a link to pre-order the second book. This is a huge key part of the whole launch strategy. Because you are trying to maintain momentum for a 90-day period and not fall off that 30-day cliff, you want to generate as many pre-orders for book 2 as you can, as early as you can, on all platforms, Amazon included. Alright, so you've got this all set up. Now, a month before the first title in your series launches, email ebook copies to your street team, your advanced readers, your advanced reviewers, and make sure that you have it set up in that email with a link to go and review the print version of the book as soon as they possibly can. You will have some very fast readers who will read it in a couple days. You don't want them questioning what to do. You want them to go straight to the book to review it. And then after you email it to them in advance, you want to check in with them probably about once a week just to say, hey, if you've read this, if you've finished it, please do go leave a review. They do love you. They want to help, but they will forget. You want to get as many reviews by launch day as you possibly can. I am going to try and step up my game on my next book launch and get 100 reviews by day 1. That would be huge to hit that as a day 1 release, is to have 100 reviews up on the Amazon store already. Of course, not everyone can hit those numbers. I might not be able to hit those numbers. I've never done it before. We'll see how it goes, but just try to get as many as you possibly can. So now your release is scheduled and set up for pre-orders. In next week's video, we're going to go into a lot of depth and a lot of detail about specific actions you take as each phase of launching the new series occurs. That's going to be a really long one, so get ready for that. That'll happen next week. Thank you so much for your support, patron. Thanks again to Luke Condor for this question. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!